I moved into this RV a little over 2 years now to live in it full time temporarily with the intention to live as close to nature as possible and lower my cost of living so that I could eventually and hopefully leave the rat race. This all started in the year we all remember, 2020. At that time, I was a premed student and a single mom, still am, living with my mom and stepdad as they supported me through college. I had just graduated when COVID hit, and everything was so uncertain, including the job market. Eventually, I developed moderate to severe anxiety, and that pretty much changed everything. I was able to find the most healing through nature. I started hiking and camping and just going outside as much as I could. Despite my new diagnosis, I was determined to become a doctor. After a couple of years of studying for my MCAT and gaining clinical experience in an entry-level job, my anxiety made another appearance in 2022. It was at the point when I had an actual anxiety attack in a patient room where I was like, okay, something needs to change. After reevaluating my life, I began to wonder, how could I live a life where I wasn't tied to a job that dysregulated my nervous system and where I was just waiting for the clock to hit 5 to live my life. Around this time, I started seeing so many videos of all of these van life girls who were so brave and living such beautiful free lives in nature. And I started to ask myself, was this possible for me too? I had read about people who had bought campers and fixed them up and traveled in them or rented out a lot for cheap or bought their own land and lived off of it. But I had no clue about RVs. I didn't even know how to do my car maintenance, y'all. Additionally, I was making about $18 an hour and I have a child. So if I was going to do this life and travel, that would mean that I would have to homeschool my son. As I kept researching, it just became so evident that this was probably the best and smartest thing I could do for myself. I realized that in the long run, I would be saving so much money by avoiding rent and insanely high mortgages. I would be able to live in nature, which was an absolute must for me. And then I would have the freedom to travel and live for free off of our public lands. So it really seems like, why not? Eventually, I could even buy my own little piece of land and put my RV on it, live in it as I convert a shed into my own little tiny house and create my dream homestead. Because that was all that I wanted and still want, is a simple, slow, intentional life where I'm connected to the land, myself, God, and just living in alignment. After 6 months of working overtime and saving as much as I could, I finally decided to go for it. So here is my travel trailer I bought. It is a 2017 Forest River Rockwood Ultralight, and it is about 30 feet long and cost about almost $23,000. I put $4,500 down on it. Then I put the rest toward a truck to pull my trailer. My stepdad actually ended up selling me his 2019 Ram 1500 to help me out, and he sold it to me for $20K, and I put $15K down on it up front. So after that, I was pretty much left with nothing, and I still had to buy all of the things you need for RV life, which is a lot more than you think. Things like the hitch and tools, hoses, all of that. On top of that, I had no clue what I was doing. I still don't. Things have just gone wrong or not gone as how I thought they would be. I gotta unhitch and set everything up, and it's getting dark. And my parents thought I was crazy, and they still think that to some degree. But the idea of living a life where I didn't own my time and wasn't happy scared the crap out of me. So I just kind of became delusionally confident to get free and to learn as I went. Bro, I am like singing the Spirit soundtrack, about to cry. I'm just so thankful. I'm just so grateful to experience this, to be in the presence of this. Even though it's really challenging at times and it's a lot of work, strenuous physical work, it is so worth it. To some people, it's not going to be worth it, but to people like me that feel alive in nature, it's so worth it. I would have been really depressed if my RV looks like an RV, so I decided to renovate it, even though I had never picked up a screwdriver before. So, over 5 months, I took out the furniture that came with it. I upgraded my roof to prevent any leaks. I also added all of this wood that you're seeing to the living space. And I painted the bathroom and my son's bedroom and really just added a lot of different natural elements. So now it's been a little over 2 years of actually living in the RV, and we have found a pretty good balance of living stationary for most of the year to stay close to family and kind of have that stability, and then traveling for 2 to 4 months out of the year and living in nature and in the mountains. And it has been the most incredible journey. Even though I have been able to live a lot more affordably and continue to work from home and not work as much because my cost of living is cheaper, and travel the world with my son and give him amazing memories, there have still been times when my anxiety and depression flares up. So I haven't really been able to save up as much as I wanted because there are times where I can't work as much. So my next big plans are to finish the renovation on my RV because there were so many little projects that I just never got around to. And I just wanted to feel fully like home and to be complete as functional as possible. Some of the main things I really want to prioritize are adding in more cabinetry and replacing things like these that are kind of eyesores with wooden storage space. I also need to get actual curtains, finish the window frame, replace this thing that guards the opening on my door, add a metal trim between these two different floors, add a cabinet door here, add some whimsical hardware to the drawers, get an actual trash can that is hopefully hidden in one of the cabinets, paint this empty spot and add a light here, fix the backs of my broken chairs, replace the cabinet doors in the bathroom with wooden ones since the paint got really messed up, fix this, make this closet shorter because we keep banging our heads on it, paint the cabinets in my son's room, and finish the Harry Potter renovation on his room and paint his ceiling. Finish painting the walls and add some wooden trim and doors to this closet, as well as add wood paneling to his door. And then to really hone down on saving and finding my dreamland here. And I would like to do this by the time I turn 30, which is in about 7 months. Our lease ends here in this mobile home park that we're currently staying at in April. And then we plan to travel for about 4 months, living off of free BLM campgrounds. So that will give me a lot of time to save up to put a down payment on a piece of land and maybe even a tiny home. We'll see. If you are interested in alternative ways of living on your own terms and not what society thinks you need to be living under, and just becoming free and living slowly, make sure to subscribe because I'll be showing every step of the way.